In the pages of Marvel Comics' most recent X-Men slate of titles, Marvel wound down the long-running Krakoa storyline over for the X-Men property. Now, in the wake of the downfall of Orchis, it's time for the publisher to enter a brand new phase of storytelling. The character of Jean Grey recently was resurrected as a part of the Fall of X initiative and is set to kick off the X-Men's brand new storytelling known as From the Ashes. My name is Noriko Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and explore some of the intergalactic space adventures of Jean Grey as the Phoenix in the brand new Phoenix #1. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel. Life, fire, power, possibility, Phoenix. She is Jean Grey, she is Phoenix, she saves the world, she brings death. One woman, alone in space, who not only must do what no one else can, she yearns to. A desperate SOS from Nova brings the Phoenix to the edge of a black hole where hundreds of lives hangs in the balance. And whatever Jean does or fails to do will bring darkness to the universe and haunt her in ways she can scarcely imagine. Phoenix #1 is written by Stephanie Phillips, featuring artwork from Alessandro Miracolo. We have colors from David Curiel, letters from VC's Cory Petit, as well as design coming in over from Jay Bowen. In addition here, I really think the cover coming in over from Yasmine Putri on Phoenix #1 is incredibly striking and features such an epic pose over for Jean Grey as the Phoenix. Also want to extend a big thank you, per usual, over to Adventures in Poor Taste and preview some of the opening pages here. I really think that Alessandro Miracolo has this fantastic sensibility towards Jean Grey, rendering her as the Phoenix and showing just how much awesome power Jean has in so many of these disparate panels here. I also think that Stephanie Phillips, as a writer, is able to introduce some of the subtext and narration for this Phoenix issue with such a great display of force. As we get to see Jean kind of zooming through the galaxy here, trying to stop an intergalactic threat, we're also treated to the brand new exposition of a fascinating character known as a Donnie, who starts to resurface across this Phoenix issue, especially towards the last couple pages here. Here's another page from Alessandro Miracolo that shows you the awesome power of the Phoenix captured through the Phoenix's flaming wings and just the expression of the bird herself. Plus, I think this also opens a really interesting way to talk about some of the structure within this first issue of Phoenix, as directly following this sequence, Jean actually answers a distress call from Richard Rider as the Nova that was teased in the solicit we just read from the comic book issue. Another one of my favorite parts about this new era of Phoenix is just how many intergalactic guest stars show up across the Marvel Universe. Donnie's father is actually directly linked to the Universal Church of Truth, and I think taking that element of Marvel Cosmic and applying it to the Phoenix character, especially towards the X-Men, is a remarkable use of continuity that's captured in quite an interesting context here. In addition, towards the next couple pages, we also get some really interesting character dynamics between both Cyclops and Jean Grey. For me, this is really epic to see on the page here, because last week we were treated to the really confident debut of X-Men #1 and got to see Scott Summers assemble his team of X-Men over in the factory. Scott's partner Jean is currently in outer space, and watching Jean and Scott rekindle their romance, even though they're both in much different positions within the Marvel Universe, is quite a joy to witness here. I'm really wondering why Phoenix doesn't just take a quick break and check in with Cyclops to kind of cut down on the pain of enduring a long-distance relationship, but I really hope that both Stephanie Phillips and Jed MacKay as writers continue to explore this storyline here as the issue progresses. I also have to hand it over to Stephanie Phillips for continuing to explore so many disparate elements of the Nova's storyline to bring it back to some interesting continuity with this brand new Phoenix era. The character of Pericus is such an interesting Marvel Comics deep dive that'll hopefully add an interesting sense of animosity towards the rest of our cast members across this new volume of Phoenix here too. This new issue of the Phoenix was able to keep some of the most interesting elements of X-Men's post-credit teaser by including one of their very own hidden behind a barcode. Seeing some of the plot reveals that happened on this final page was a great bookend for this issue of Phoenix that managed to capture so many elements across the Marvel Universe. We didn't even talk about the final page that introduces tons of guest stars that have already been seeded across several future issues of Phoenix as well. So at the end of the day here, I think Marvel Comics has something special in store for this new era of the Phoenix. Moving forward, I really want Stephanie Phillips as a writer to tie some of these plot threads together and show how figures like Paracus are going to lend an imposing threat towards Jean Grey due to her awesome power as the Phoenix. However, I do think characters like a Donnie manage to implement themselves so nicely within the narrative, and I'm also really fascinated to see how so many of those guest stars on the final page of Phoenix are going to play into the narrative as well. I want to know from you, what did you think about what Stephanie Phillips and Jed MacKay have brought to the X-Men's From the Ashes line so far? Did you like this brand new issue of Phoenix as much as I did? And finally, what did you think about Alessandro Miracolo's epic art? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video review over on Phoenix issue 1. And we'll be back to preview the brand new From the Ashes era books as soon as they're released. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.